Epilogue. The next few weeks saw the rebuilding of the castle and the restoration to the land around it. Sonic stood outside with a construction crew, holding up a set of blueprints in his hands. He not satisfactory to get the repairs. Salt's hand fell on his shoulder and he turned to look, and he saw Sally standing beside him, wearing her tiara in her hair. She smiled at him, and he smiled back. "The castle should be finished by the end of the week, Sal," he said softly. Sally nodded, and she held him tight, resting her head on his shoulder. Sonic put an arm around her, holding her and letting the blueprints fall to the ground. They watched the construction crew for about a few minutes. "Sonic, the boat's about to leave," reminded Sally softly, looking at her watch. Sonic sighed sadly and nodded. He picked up Sally, and together they ran to the docks, where Captain Pelletter's cruiser Aegis waited. He screeched to a halt beside it. Uncle Chuck, Bunny, Rudder, and Dr. Rose and his daughter, Scorch, and Ami Chobe stood by the gangplank. "We almost left without being able to say goodbye to you, Sonic," said Dr. Rose. He held his daughter to him. "We owe you a great debt. Without your help, I don't think Amy and I would be reunited." He smiled. Sonic shook his head. "Thank Ami and Scorch. If it weren't for him..." "Oh, come on, Sonic. We did it together," Scorch said, clutching Sonic's wrist. Sonic smiled, returning to the class. "Together. Do you really have to leave?" he asked. "There's still work to be done out there, brother. Maybe one day we'll be able to settle down. And when we do, we'll come back here. Deal?" said Scorch, raising an eyebrow. "Deal," Sonic said, smiling. "Adios," shouted the Hedgehog. "Smack out!" Amy rose and walked up to Ami, and tugging at her skirt. She looked down at the small pink hedgehog. "Thank you for saving my father," she said in a small, quiet voice. She turned to Sonic. He bent down to her. "And thank you too, Sonic," she said, kissed him lightly on the cheek. Sonic blushed. Captain Pelletter called down from the deck, "All aboard!" Dr. Rose said his last goodbyes to all, and with his daughter boarded the ship. They waited for the deck. "Keep it tense, Edwin!" yelled Uncle Chuck. Dr. Rose smiled. "We will, Sir Charles," he yelled back. Scorch and Ami walked up the gangplank. Ami walked up and pulled it out of their sight, and when Scorch reached the top, he smiled down at Sonic and gave him a thumbs up and a wink. Sonic copied the gesture, and Scorch walked up to the deck. The boat's whistle gave a loud hoot, and the ship disengaged from the dock and sailed slowly away. Everyone waved at each other until the ship disappeared over the horizon. Sonic hugged Sally to him, smiling at her. "At least this time I know he's coming back," he said. Bunny looked over at her. "I'm glad you're a real you," she said, hugging him tight. Bert smiled over his riddles glasses. "So am I," he whispered, and then handed her back over to Antoine so Antoine and Bunny could kiss. "You know, Sal, I watched you fight at the castle. You've really improved, you know," Sonic said. "Why, thank you, Sonic," replied Sally, beaming. "But you know, I'm still the best." Sonic joked. Sally frowned. "Oh, really? Have you forgotten Pinewood? Would you like me to prove it again? Or was it the first time enough?" Sonic shook his head. "No need, Sal," and my head's still ringing. They all shared a laugh as they approached the castle. The end. And, hey! This is the first! What is it? Oh my gosh! It's a cast list! It's a credits page! Oh man, I kind of wish I found this earlier. Would have given me a couple of cool ideas for who to do the voice. So, what do we do? I don't know. I've never encountered a cast list before. Do we comment on it? I don't know. You know, now that I think about it, I'm surprised Micah never did this. You're right. He always talks on and on and on about how his stories are television series. But He only gives a cast list at the beginning of the first season. We rarely see him give cast lists at the end of his Friends of His Failure stories, or Dark Side of Dimensions, or even some of his other fics. You're right. Which kind of makes me laugh when I saw my riffers say, how come you're complaining to Micah about doing the exact same thing? You created a cast list for your fic. No. Let me clear it up to all you people who are listening in. I have no problem with Micah creating a cast list for his story. If he wants to see his stuff as a show, fine. I'll review it as a television series. If he wants to see his fic as a movie, fine. I'll review it as a movie. Heck, I even see Fall of Starfleet as a full-on 65-episode animated series. If anybody ever wants me to, I'll easily break it down to which episodes are the arcs, which ones would be broken down to chapters, episodes, and how it all comes together. And this is supposed to be a movie, so of course we got a cast list. So, let's do this! Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie. This was apparently written, produced, and directed by Jason B. Northedge. What about that guy's doing now? Voices. Let's see. Sonic the Hedgehog was voiced by Bruce Willis? Oh, you mean I should have been going, yippee-yi-okay-yay, motherfucker, this entire time? Demi Moore as Sally? Oh, cute, but I prefer Kathy Suchi. You see that down the later. I see that. Bunny. Park Overall. Who? Doesn't ring a bell. Brother, Colin Meaney. Okay, now I think he's starting to make some of these up. Antoine played by Dave Thomas. Dave Thomas? Isn't he, the founder of Wendy's? Tails, Dave Swimmer. Oh, I think I know David Swimmer. I think I've seen a few movies with him in it. Tara, played by Julia Roberts. The cook? Oh, no, different Julia. Oh. Uncle Chuck, played by Ray Walston. Okay, no idea. Edward Rose, played by Robert Stack. Edward Rose was played by Robert Stack? Oh. I should have done my Edward Stack impersonation.
No. That's exactly what they want us to do.
Amy Rose, played by Mara Wilson? Oh, no. I see the torment Mara Wilson did to the Nostalgia Critic. I'm not doing this. Of course, Hedgehog, played by Paul Reiser. And Amy Chubey, played by Julia Dreyfus. C. Scooter is played by Jill White. Oh, I get it. It's one of those cast callback things. Kind of like how Sarah's played by Kathy Suchi. And Mechanic's played by
Christopher Lloyd. Oh, I gave her the wrong voice. I think personally, if I knew that beforehand, this whole entire fic would be a lot sillier.
And Captain Player, played by Patrick Stewart. Now, I want you in the audience to tell me, what do you prefer? Patrick Stewart playing Captain Player, or me using my big voice? Also starring as Volpa, Leonard Nimoy. No! You said Volper was big and loud. I do not see Leonard Nimoy being big and loud. He's more dignified, more calm. Or Hardcore is played by Dan Castanella. Okay, I think you got the two actors mixed up here. Hopper was played by Dennis Hopper. Oh, real original there! And Cedric Edgewater, played by Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins? Oh my god, I gotta come up with new impersonations. Soundtrack available on my Mouse and Records. Songs provided by The opening theme, No One Like You, sung by Scorpions. Sonic Radio for saying I Like to Rock by April Wine. Sonic and Sally's love theme, How Deep Is Your Love by the Bee Gees. Tails and Tara's love theme, Power of Love by Peter Sinatra. Amy's Lullaby, Secret Friend, sung by Mara Wilson. Apparently that was originally. And Supersonic Transformation, You Can Do Anything by Casey Rankin, Michael Samuel Spawn, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Keiko Uto. You Are the Light, sung by Harlequin. You and I, sung by the Scorpions. Sonic and Mechanics Fight Scene, Hit Me With Your Best Shot by Pat Benatar. And finally, Sonic Anything, Sonic the Hedgehog, sung by Noisy Neighbors. This audio book has been brought to you and presented by Speedster Studios. Life read by Lesson Bringer. With production by Trixie Lillamoon. All voices provided by Lesson Bringer, Martial Art Fruit User, and Alchemy Student. We'd like to thank YouTube for bringing you this live production. And now on to the review! Okay, this epilogue was a lot more fun to do than I thought. The story was fun. That's my big thing. It was fun. My complaints. It may have felt like supposed to be a movie, but it felt more like a movie to his stories than to Sonic. I gotta admit, it's a better epilogue than Mobius 20 years later. Look at you, Penders! But I do feel like the pacing could have been tightened up if we cut out Sally's whole entire story she gave to the kids. I also feel like Amy was dreadfully underused for here. Granted, this was at a time when all we knew about Amy was that she could read horoscopes and she would latch onto you on the first level of Sonic CD. I also kind of wish Metallics had more of a presence. All he was throughout this entire story was a average DBZ villain from one of the movies. You know how it goes. One of them, some random ass villain shows up in Dragon Ball Z in one of the DBZ movies, gives Goku a little bit of a problem for a bit. Goku gets a new power level, move on. This is what Metallics felt like. He did felt imposing. He just felt like he was there. While it did give us a nice little bit of backstory, yeah, it just didn't connect to me. He's not exactly the best of the villains I've ever seen, but I gotta admit, I do like that out of a lot of other fanfic original villains, this guy didn't try to go too dark with his villainy, and just stuck with being original. You know, just, haha, I'm pure evil. Well, trying to be, you know, I'm gonna rape ya, or some other variant of super overly dark and gritty villainy. You know, that kind of thing. Also, I do get annoyed by Rotor and Bunny romance. Seriously, people, what the hell? Now, there's a lot to like. Also, I don't feel like Sonic was as fast as he should have been, but I do like that he was still snarky. I also kind of wish we had more Nicole action in here. I mean, would be a good time for Sally's really cool AI to be used. That's nice, wake wake. But beyond that, I really enjoyed this. Everybody was in character. Sally finally had a good reason to, you know, be emotionally distraught. She thought her husband was dead and there was no sign that he was alive. And she actually had time to be in a good place to cry, i.e. with Bunny. There wasn't a point where she needed to actually look strong, so it didn't feel like they tried to weaken her. Oh, I gotta add that complaint. They never really did explain why Bunny could somehow suddenly really transform back into a robotic form other than she was just halfway there, I really don't think that was as good of an explanation as they were hoping. I also really love the rotor twist. Granted, I saw it coming once they mentioned, oh, there was an ex-Freedom Fighter in here with whiskers. I was like, oh, that was Rotor. It became obvious to me the moment I saw him. But I gotta give the author credit. I did not see it coming until it showed up. At that point, I was like, oh my goodness, it is Rotor. I do like some of the generals, they were fun. And I like the appearance of Supersonic Point 5. I kinda wish it was the real Supersonic, but this was an interesting way to bring him in. And kind of was a cool way to do it without breaking the Chaos Emeralds. By touching upon what Sonic always used, his power rings. So I felt like this was a good way to get us into it. The fight scenes were quick, and I appreciate that this author decided, okay, some people are probably just going to go in and read this without reading my previous story. So here's a quick bio on Scorch, and here's a quick bio on Ami. There, boom. And it got me interested, and there's a part of me that wants to go back. Although I have to laugh that Scorch is a black hedgehog who's as fast as Sonic, is got a dark story, and has a hot-ass girlfriend. Are we sure this guy didn't protect Shadow? I'm just saying. And yeah, this credit sequence was cool. Well, that was what Down Fastest more to go. I think next, of course, do the Ludiverse. Then somebody gave me a request to do a 2 Derpy-centric story, so I wouldn't mind doing that. It's going to have Dinky in it, isn't it? And then, who knows, maybe another Sonic fic, or maybe some Fallout. See you guys then!